we're going to talk about the next player that's got to get that bag. This is actually my favorite time of the year.
We want the money in the bag.
We do this for the money.
You are money.
I got some for you, big dog. We make it rain. I'm about to start charging percentage rates on Get That Bag segment. Is anybody else around that got $150 million for me to get it done? And if you don't want it, give it to me. Hey, get that bag. Everybody I put on this damn screen gets paid. Go get y'all bag. It's money on the line. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all already know what time it is. It's the off season. And y'all know me. If anybody know me, they know I like my money, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move these graces to the players that I think are about to get paid. Trey Hendrickson, you up first, big dog. You had 14 and a half sacks. We go times 2, and you gonna get about 30 mil a year for being a defensive end that dominates games. If there was any semblance of success for the Cincinnati Bengals, it was the Lone Ranger, Mina's baby, Trey Hendrickson. He is going to get nuclear paid. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of talk about free agents, a lot of talk about people that's gonna get a bag. Trey Hendrickson don't get a bag. Cincinnati don't have nobody. Next, we going to Milton Williams from the Philadelphia Eagles. Y'all saw it. The big fella made the play in the Super Bowl, but he had a great year. Mina would love this. Pass rush rim rate was phenomenal for a young guy. He was on the interior with Jalen Carter, maybe got overshadowed a little bit. I went back and looked at his film. I didn't see him lose many one-on-ones. And y'all know what not losing one-on-ones equate to? A lot of ones and commas in your bank account. And that's what's going to happen with Milton Williams. And last but not least, Brinks truck, building, whatever you can fit money in that's big enough, it's going to be for Myles Garrett. Now, I know what y'all saying. Well, he might not get traded, and Cleveland might play hardball. Somebody got to pay him, and Cleveland going to have to if they keep him. But if somebody else get him, oh, my God. Myles, I saw you with your predictive dog in the airport. I saw you at the Pro Bowl. I've seen you do things that ungodly things do on the football field. It's get that bag season. I just gave you 3. Yes, and on purpose, it was 3 D linemen. Peace.
Look at Swagoo doing the Lord's work for his fellow D linemen. Salute. I mean, do it themselves.
I just need my residuals.
DPOY, but Swagoo.
Phil, I need.
Go ahead.
I need my percentages, Phil. I need my percentages. Everybody, our producer, Mark Eisman, our director, Jay No, every time I put somebody on Get That Bag, they get that bag. So we going to need to start charging interest when we put you on this segment on NFL Live.
But Swag, you're not the only one doing the advocacy. Aiden Hutchinson, also on behalf of Myles Garrett, making it clear that he is all for the All-Pro, making his way to Detroit.
Okay.
We were just talking about what could be, you know, and although it's probably unlikely, I think I would be thrilled to play next to him if it were to happen. But our whole D-line would be totally elevated. That'd be a scary defensive line. And we get along too. I think I've seen him these last few years at different things. He texted me after I got hurt, which I don't know, it was just a cool thing. Like guys outside of your own team who reach out to you, I think. So I think he's a good dude. And if he does, great. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But that would be awesome.
Jeremy Fowler, it's fun to think about, especially if you own any clothing in Motor City Blue, but how feasible is it that Detroit could be the landing spot if Garrett's moved?
I mean, it's doable for the Lions. They got $50+ million in cap space this year. They're picking later in the first round, 28th overall, so they'd have to come together with a pretty sweet package of several picks to make something like that happen. Garrett would be thrilled with that. Just a couple hours north from Cleveland. He can drive up, play for a contender like he wants. The problem remains this, though. Sources continue to tell me the Browns are a hard no. And they're such a hard no that not really many teams have been calling because they know the Browns don't have any reason to trade one of the very best players in the NFL right now. So some team's going to have to break through that third wall and get to Cleveland. Right now it has not happened.
So a believable hard no for the moment, but if it does happen, an intriguing pairing, even with Aiden Hutchinson's injury. He and Garrett both ranked top 10 in QB pressures since Hutchinson entered the league. A multi-time Pro Bowler traded last offseason, Stephon Diggs, had his contract restructured to a single year upon arriving in Houston. 47 catches, shade under 500 yards in 8 games before tearing his ACL. Texans GM Nick Caserio spoke this week on the prospect of bringing back Diggs to H-Town.
Had a good relationship with Steph and his representation, and we enjoyed having Steph in the building. So the door is always open. I think a number of players have expressed sentiments and interest in potentially returning to our team next season. So we never rule anything out. So we're going to be open-minded and kind of work through the process.
Yeah, open-minded for 4 straight Pro Bowls before last year's injury. You get it. ESPN has a new overall receiving metric, which takes into account a player's ability to get open, catch the ball, get yards after catch, using NFL Next Gen stats. A.J. Brown was the only wideout who had a better rating than Diggs in 2024, and C.J. Stroud's QBR before Diggs' injury was 61. After Diggs' injury, dropped to 39. Marcus Spears, Houston doesn't have a ton of cap room. How much should they prioritize bringing back Diggs?
I think it should be a heavy priority. Tank Dell would have been that guy. Obviously, the injury history is something that you have to pay attention to. You also think about the way that Stephon Diggs plays the receiver position. A very, very coordinated wide receiver, understands routes, understands how to get in and out of breaks. And you couple that with C.J. Stroud's ability to be a precision passer, I think it's a great combination. Obviously, we know Nico Collins is the number 1 guy on that football team, but to have a complimentary two, like a Stephon Diggs, who at one time we was in the conversation for being the best wide receiver in the NFL, I definitely think that they should explore it. There's another place that should explore it too, though. Go ahead, MK.
Might hear about that one later. The Texans are like the case study for you can never have too many wide receivers, right? Because they went into last season and we were thinking, oh, they're drowning receivers. How are they going to pass the ball around? And then you lose Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell, and all of a sudden the playoffs, you don't have enough. So, yes, they should try to bring him back if it's a reasonable price. I'd like to throw another name out there, though, who's not a free agent but a trade option, and that's Cooper Kupp, who I don't think it will cost him very much at all to trade for, and I don't think he's going to be particularly expensive at this point in his career. But my reason is this. The Texans last year needed physicality. They needed to be better in both run blocking and pass protection, frankly, but run blocking, and it was a team-wide issue. It wasn't just about the offensive line. They need skill players who can block. And you get an offensive coordinator from the Rams, Nick Caley, who's taught tight ends. He's going to want to add that element to this offense, and I think Kupp would be a great chess piece to make this run game more physical and to make the passing game more diverse.
MK, I wanted to ask you a question real quick because I know we don't have a lot of time. I said that about Stephon Diggs. Do you look at Cooper Kupp in that same vein as those precision route running guys that kind of match what C.J. Stroud does?
I think he is more of a complementary piece in terms of you can align him to the formation. Obviously, he plays in the slot a lot, and he can work those high-traffic parts of the field that are opened up by having a Nico Collins and potentially a Stephon Diggs or a Tank Dell. He does the dirty work, and increasingly, I am of the belief teams need receivers who can do that dirty work, especially if they're in a lot of 11 personnel.
Again, we saw the QBR of C.J. Stroud take a severe dip as those receiving injuries started to mount throughout the offseason. Coming up on NFL Live, we'll look at Texas's other team. The Cowboys' biggest offseason question mark is Micah Parsons, but Marcus thinks that's not the only area that needs to be addressed on D in Big D. Find out the rest in just a few minutes here on NFL Live.
Anticipating a talent blitz as Detroit Lions star spark speculation. In a recent turn of events, a prominent Detroit Lions figure has sparked intrigue by revealing conversations with none other than Cleveland Browns standout Myles Garrett. This revelation has sent the sports world into a frenzy of speculation and anticipation, hinting at a potential collaboration that could reshape the dynamics of the league, revealing dialogues with Browns' Myles Garrett for a potential partnership. The transparency shown by the Detroit Lions star in acknowledging dialogues with Myles Garrett signifies a strategic move that could lead to a formidable partnership. The prospect of these two exceptional talents joining forces has not only captured the imagination of fans, but has also sparked conversations among analysts and insiders within the soccer community. exploring the impact of a potentially dynamic duo. If the speculated alliance comes to fruition, the impact on both teams involved will be profound. The synergy between these two remarkable athletes could elevate their respective performances to new heights, presenting a formidable challenge to opponents across the league. The strategic implications of such a collaboration extend beyond the field, potentially influencing team dynamics, game strategies, and even the larger landscape of professional soccer. Navigating the realm of speculation and reality in sports as discussions and rumors continue to circulate, it is essential to navigate the fine line between speculation and concrete developments in sports. While the excitement surrounding potential collaborations can be contagious, it is crucial to exercise caution and wait for official announcements before drawing definitive conclusions. The delicate dance between anticipation and confirmation adds an element of suspense and intrigue to the narrative, underscoring the unpredictable nature of the sports world. Embracing the uncertainty of sports dynamics. The fluid nature of sports dynamics often presents unexpected twists and turns, keeping fans, players, and analysts on the edge of their seats. Embracing the uncertainty inherent in such scenarios adds a layer of excitement to the narrative, inviting stakeholders to immerse themselves in the unfolding drama and unpredictability of professional sports. It is within these moments of ambiguity that the true essence of sportsmanship and competition shines through, reminding us of the profound impact that individual decisions can have on the collective landscape of the game.